So today we're going to be celebrating the upcoming spring equinox. I am so ready for this spring. Oh my gosh, it's just been a crazy winter. Even today, it's like, why they keep sending us cold air, I don't know, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. So very excited. So today's practice, we're going to be doing some stuff sitting, we'll do some stuff standing up. We'll do a little like breathing exercise. I love to do the alternate nostril breath, just because of the balancing of, the energies. When we're doing the equinox practice, it's like we start to, find our balance in the springtime. So it's about growth and renewal and a little shift, right? So we'll be bringing that all into our practice today, and of course the connection to nature as well. So let's just start out, feet on the ground, hands resting here on the thighs, and we're just going to close the eyes and just start to really be present, checking in with your body today. Allow your breath to be natural, right? So don't try to change it, just be curious, like, what does it feel like? Where do I feel my breath? How does my body feel today? What is my energy like today? So depending on how you've slept, nourishment, all those things come into play when we're talking about energy. Okay, and before we go into even setting our intention today, we're gonna give ourselves a gratitude moment, because we have reached this point where it's been kind of a rough winter, right? So I want you to just think about something in your life, and it could be more recent, it could be more in the past, that you're grateful for. We're just going to bring that into the heart. So just place your hands over your heart and just think about that moment. I really want you to experience it. So seeing what you saw, hearing what you heard, fully bringing yourself into that moment of gratitude. Notice how that made you feel at that moment, feeling love, compassion, joy. Notice all the feelings that come up. And it could be anything in life, right? So anything that gives you great gratitude for. And it's going to bring us to a different place, right? A different state in our bodies when we come from a place of gratitude. And just holding that in your heart for a couple moments longer. Okay, and then from that place, join your palms together. Set your intention for practice today of finding balance in on and off the mat, right? Balance in our lives is important. Joy, whatever brings you joy, right? Focusing on that. And then once you have set that intention, we're going to let it go. So just extending your arms up and away from your heart, just like spreading that joy, that passion out into the world. Let your arms come all the way down. And then we're just going to go right into our breathing practice, so which would be the alternate nostril breath. And basically it's balancing those energies. So we think about, we're in this place where we're that halfway point, like the yin and the yang, right? So the balance of the light and the dark. So we're balancing both sides of our bodies and our brain by doing this alternate nostril breathing. So we'll start out, you're going to use your right hand to use that to close off the nostril. So don't mirror me, because this will be your left hand. So this, you're going to use your right hand. The right thumb is going to close off the right nostril, and the ring finger will be used to close off the left. So let's start, just put your fingers, your index finger and your middle finger right on your third eye point. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to take a full breath in through both sides. You're going to inhale, fully exhale, and then you're just going to place your thumb on the right nostril. We're going to take that first breath on the left side. So you're going to breathe in, and then you're going to seal off the left nostril with your ring finger, and then we're going to open the right side and we're going to breathe out through the right side. Then your next breath is going to come in on the right. And you're going to close that side off and you're going to exhale through the left. And then we'll inhale on the left side. And close the left, open the right side, and exhale. Inhale on the right side. And close, and then open the left side. We'll do 2 more rounds together. Inhale on the left. Exhale on the right. Inhale on the right side. Close that, open left side, exhale. Okay, we'll do 1 more in. And close, and open right, exhale. And then inhale right. And close, and then exhale left. And release. 2 cleansing breaths, both sides. Inhale and exhale. And 1 more. And fully exhale. And just before you open your eyes, just take a moment to notice how you feel, right? So it's important to kind of check in and see. And then you can either have your eyes opened or closed. We're just going to do some seated cat and cow. Hands are going to be resting on your thighs. And we're just going to pull the chest and sternum forward. And then exhale, rounding your spine. So think about this from the heart center. So as we inhale, we're bringing that heart center forward. And then as you exhale, the back of the heart opens. So that space between the shoulder blades. Sort of opening our hearts in both directions. I always call it the front door of the heart and the back door of the heart. So think about this. As you're inhaling, we're opening the heart, we're bringing in love, joy, compassion. As we're rounding, you're sending negativity out the back door. So fear, worry, and stress. So think about that. Inhale, bringing in the good stuff. Exhale, sending out the negative stuff. 2 more rounds of breath. So we're just filling up with the good stuff and just releasing what doesn't support us. Last one. So what I call this is spring cleaning, right? So we all have to clean out, pull the weeds, right? Make space for something new. Whenever we go out in this time of year and we see a lot of weeds, right? They come up in their garden and they kind of pop up first before anything else usually. So it's a good time to go out and you just pull those weeds out, and then you have space now in your garden to plant new seeds, put in new flowers, new shrubs, whatever it is. So you're creating new growth of something that's beautiful, right? Rather than having those weeds in. Same thing with our bodies. We just get in there, we're going to pull out those weeds. So we're going to do that experience today when we stand up, which is, I love this springtime practice. It's amazing. Okay, let's just do a few more seated things, then we're going to be standing up for a good portion of class today. So side bending. So we're just going to reach over to the side, right? So fill up your breath on the side body, come back to center, and then go the other way. So now we're making space here in our lungs for some fresh breath. Opening up, clearing the lungs. And maybe you had some illnesses over the winter. Maybe you have some congestion in there. I'm going to clear that out. 1 more. And let's come back to center. Let's roll the shoulders. Letting go of anything that's sitting heavy on top of them. Roll them the other way. And then go ahead and shake out those arms, hands, and fingers. Nice cleansing breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Place your hands on your thighs. The last thing we're going to do sitting is going to be like a twisted posture. So just finding your twist, you're just going to come and twist to one side, turn your head, look over the other shoulder. So now we're clearing out. The twisting is really good for our digestion and elimination. So think about the stomach, the intestines, and we're clearing that out with the twist. Okay, other side. Make sure you're breathing fully in and out of your nose here as we're holding the twist. So your breath is always going to be that way to clear, right? So make sure you're fully exhaling. Clearing out toxins. And that could be toxins in the body, but it could also be toxic thinking too, right? So negative thoughts. All right, let's inhale the arms up. Big breath in. Exhale, hands together at your heart center. And then we're going to hinge forward. We're going to come up to stand. So press down through your feet and then just rise all the way up to stand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stand next to the chair. We're going to do a little bit of a standing flow. Then we're going to do balancing. So we'll start in mountain pose, right? So standing up tall, feel your feet on the ground. And if you can't do the standing, you can always modify sitting down in the chair. So if you're doing seated mountain pose, that's where you would start, but standing mountain pose would be feet on the ground. And then we're going to inhale, circle the arms up, and then lift your gaze there looking upwards. And then as you exhale, float those arms down. We're just going to come into a half forward fold. You can bend your knees, you can put your hands on your thighs. And then as you exhale, we're going to round up. So bring your chin to your chest, push down through your feet, and just trace your fingers up your legs as we return to mountain pose. We're going to do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Exhale, hands are going to come all the way down to heart center. And then we're going to place the hands on the thighs. And then sink down into this half forward fold. Knees can be soft. And then chin to chest, so go ahead and roll up to stand in mountain pose. We'll do that 1 more time. Inhale. And then hands to heart center, tracing down to heart center, continuing tracing down as you come into this half forward fold. And then rounding to come up. And then you're back in mountain pose. So we'll step our feet wide, right? So maybe taking up about half of your mat here, and you're going to have your chair next to you just in case you want it. But we're going to start with the foot that's closest to the chair. We're going to pivot on the foot. So you're turning your toes to face like underneath the chair. And then the back foot, you're just going to pivot in just a little bit so it's angled. So your hips will be slightly angled. And then as you push down into your foot, we're going to bend the knee so it comes close to the chair. It doesn't have to be a deep knee bend. And we're going to hold this position. So you're going to feel the strength in your legs. We're going to pull that energy up from the ground right into our core, right? So this is going to help us to stay really strong in our physical body. Then hands will go to heart center and we're going to slowly open the arms out. So just go ahead and open those arms really wide. And then we'll just turn both the palms up towards the sky. So we're going to relax those shoulders. Then the gaze is going to turn forward. So you're looking over that front hand. So it'll be basically over the chair. And then think about this as like a balancing, right? So imagine you're holding weights in both of your hands, or maybe big rocks or something, and just feel that weight, just softening the shoulders down, breathing in and out. Your head is looking forward. And then we're going to reverse the warrior. I call it peaceful warrior today. We're going to reach up. So as you're reaching up with the front arm, you're reaching down with the back arm, and we're gazing upwards towards the sky. And then filling up with breath. So it's a little bit balancy, right? Because our gaze is lifted. And then we're going to return to warrior 2 with the arms wide. And now we're going to go the other direction. So the front arm is going to come down. You can put your hand on your thigh, maybe onto the chair. And now we're going to reach up towards the sky. And then perhaps even reaching over a little bit. So we're finding a side stretch. And then you can choose your gaze point, either looking up or down, whatever feels more grounding for you. Feel your feet, feel your legs. Again, feeling your core strengthening your body. And then you're gonna use the exhale, push down through your feet. We're gonna come back into warrior two with those arms wide. And then we're gonna exhale, bring the arms down, pivot your feet, and then we're gonna go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. So we're in our mountain pose again, standing up tall. We're gonna practice our tree pose next. So we're gonna think about how our body's connected to nature, right? So thinking about the chakra system. So the root chakra, right, that's where our roots are. So growing roots down into earth. So imagine there's roots growing down from the bottoms of your feet into the earth. So we're really strong and rooted here. So the leg that's going to be coming off the ground will be the outside leg, and the one that's going to be rooted, it'll be the leg that's closest to the chair. And you always have the chair if you need it, right? If you want to hold on there. So we'll start with the outside leg. We're going to pick it up and turn it out. So we'll always start with the foot on the floor. So your toes will be on the floor, your heel will be on that inner ankle bone. And we'll put one hand over the heart. So let's find a gaze point looking far out in front of you and just hold that steady gaze, maintaining a nice full breath. Hands over your heart so you can feel your heart beating. We're going to make that connection from our hearts into nature, right? So the ground, which is the earth, and then into the sun, the moon, the sky, all of the trees, all of the plants. We're going to start moving our foot up off the floor, so you can place it somewhere on your inner shin. And you're holding that steady gaze, still breathing. And then you can play around with your balance by taking your hand on and off the chair if your foot is off the floor. And just saying to yourself, I am safe, I am connected to nature. I am strong, I am grounded. Stay here for another breath. And then you can release your foot to the floor, release your arms. We'll return to mountain pose. Let's go ahead and close the eyes. And again, if you want to take your hands over your heart and just take a moment to, again, experience some gratitude moment in your life. Just take a few breaths there, really connect. Feeling grateful, feeling thankful, feeling love, feeling passion, joy, all the good stuff, right? So we're just going to keep building up all this good stuff, because we sometimes get caught up in the bad stuff and the stuff that's not great. And we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it today. So we're going to be really grateful when we leave class today. Okay, so just holding all those good things all in your body, all in your heart. Release your arms down. We're going to do that weed pulling exercise, and then we're going to do the other side for our warrior poses. So what we'll do is we'll step our feet out. You can have your feet slightly turned out, and then you're going to imagine you're standing in your garden, right? And you have all these weeds that you need to pull up. So what we'll do is we're gonna bend down. We're gonna physically like pull the weeds. So we'll do it like pull, 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 and then we're just gonna stand up and we're just gonna send them out, right? So you can take a big exhale and just like imagine you're sending out things like that you don't need anymore, right? So it could just be, stress, worry, overthinking, all of those things, any kind of patterns that we want to try to break here in the springtime. It's a good time to do it. So go ahead and just bend forward, and we're just going to start yanking up those weeds. So physically you're pulling, 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 and then you're got all these weeds in your hands, and you're just going to go and send it all away. We're going to do this 3 more times. So keep pulling those weeds. They're things you don't need anymore, right? Just keep pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, and then send them away. And again, pull up those dandelions. What are those things? Those onion weeds. And then again, send it out. And last time, really pull them up. So you forgot one over there, make sure you get it. Don't leave it behind. It's going to grow more, right? So weeds tend to grow more, more, more if we don't get them out now. And then send it away. Okay, stand in mountain pose. Just take a moment to see, just, the act of pulling weeds like that, it's physical, right? So when you do physical stuff, emotional stuff, it sticks in the body, it sticks in the brain, it changes the way we feel. And that's how we elicit changes through the physical bodies, through our practice. Let's kind of step around to the other side. If you need to make some room, go ahead and shift your chair. All right, mountain pose, start. And then we're going to take a big breath in, reach the arms up high. And then you're going to exhale, arms are going to go wide first, and then we're going to step our feet out wide. Turn your palms up, and then we're going to pivot on that foot and leg to face it towards the chair, and then bend the knee. So we'll be in warrior two. Turning in the back foot slightly, gaze forward, and let's hold this pose, right? So feeling this moment of peace and your breath, and the connected to earth and the seasons. And springtime is the best time because it is all about growth and renewal and change and shift. And life is constantly changing, so we have to change with it. We can't stay, right? Stay is not a good place to be. We always have to be with the change. Let's reach up. We get stagnant, we get stuck, and then there's usually pain that comes along. Pain and suffering is stuck and stagnant. Joy and happiness is movement and flow. Come back to center, find that balance, breathe. Okay, go in the other direction. So hand comes to either thigh or chair. We're gonna reach straight up and then all the way over. So we're opening up again the lungs. So this side of the lung, right, breathing into it, side body, strong connection to earth. Gaze can be up or down, you choose. Use one more in-breath, use your exhale to come all the way back to warrior two. Hold for another breath. And then release. Go ahead and step your feet together. We're going to go ahead and practice that tree pose on the other side. So this leg will now be our grounding leg. So again, we're imagining that we're growing roots from the bottom of your feet. You're finding that strong connection to ground. Hands to the chair. You're going to bend the outside leg, turn it out. Heel's going to start on that inner ankle bone, outside hands over the heart. Then find that gaze point. So we're going to hold that steady gaze. We're going to maintain a nice neutral breath, even flowing breath. So when things get tough, right, we have a tendency to go into stress response. We're going to stay really calm in our balance today with a nice, gentle, even breath. Slowly bring your foot up, place it on that inner shin, hold and breathe. And then just practice balancing by taking your hand on and off the chair as much as you need to. So wobbles are invited, right? Wobbles are your body getting stronger. So don't get nervous or frightened by them, right? They're good things. Growth is never easy, right? We have to kind of embrace the changes, build strength and resilience. But then on the other side is more joy, more love. Okay, last two breaths here. And then when you're ready, stepping out, mountain pose, close your eyes, just feel your body, feel your emotions. Feel the gratitude. All right, we're going to turn to face our chair. And then we're going to fold forward. So we're going to put our hands on the seat of the chair. Now you can take your legs up a little bit wider here if you want to. So if your wide legs feels better, then go ahead and do that. And your gaze is going to be down towards the chair. And then we're just going to start to move from side to side. So allow your hips to sway, just gentle movements. And then find stillness. And if you want to deepen this, you could come down a little bit closer to the ground. You can move your hands to your legs. You can even move your arms down so you're on your forearms rather than on the palms of your hands. But if you're comfortable here, you can stay there. So just choosing whatever feels appropriate for you. I'm just going to stay here for a few more breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel the back of your heart opening. And this is where we're thinking about letting go out the back door of our hearts. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Then we're going to use our exhalation, coming up slow. Chin's going to stay into the chest. So if you come up slow, you won't get dizzy, right? Then we're going to step our feet together. And we'll go ahead and we're going to stand behind our chair. So if you have a room, you can stand behind it. I'm just going to shift mine. So your hands will be on the back of the chair. And we're going to look down at our feet. So we're going to take a step backwards with the left foot. So you're going to have a staggered stance. So the front leg is going to be facing forward. Also the back leg is facing forward, but they're in a staggered position. Let's go ahead and bend that front knee. And we're going to inhale the arms up. So this is warrior one position. So your shoulders and your hips are square towards the back of the chair and the mat. And let's go ahead and hold this one. So when things in life are coming at us, right? So, sometimes things come in a lot together, like all at once, are coming at you. And then that's when fear and worry and stress come in. So when we're in this warrior position, we think of ourselves, we are warriors, right? So we're blocking and we're saying, no, we're not going to take that. We're going to push it off. And what we're going to be doing is sending out. So love like this coming against fear, love is always going to win. Okay, so you're sending out love that way, and you're not allowing the worries and the fear to come into the heart. So we're going to hold this position. And if you think about something in your life that is causing you stress or worry, I want you to send love in that direction. So we're going to hold this for 3 breaths. So it's just an exercise, right? To really focus on how we can release the stuff that gets coming at us a lot. And it can send us in a tailspin. Okay, we're going to join our palms together. Interlace all of your fingers. If you can, stretch your index fingers up. We're going to take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to pull your arms straight down in front of your chest. It'll be like this. And you'll make an H-A ha sound. So inhale and exhale. Ha. Ha. And this is us sending away. Last one. And then release, step forward, back to mountain pose, hands over heart, close your eyes, breathing in and out. So we have control, right? We don't have to lose our control. Release the arms down, look down at your feet. We'll step back with the right one this time. Put that bend in the left knee. Remember, shoulders, hips square to either the chair or the front of the mat. Both arms up, warrior one pose. So you're imagining things coming at you. You might even have actual things, right, that in your life right now that are disturbing you, but you can't let them get the best of you, right? So we're just going to focus on sending out love, and then we're going to do that shopping action where we're really pushing it out and away from us. So palms together, interlace your fingers, extend your index fingers, inhale through the nose, exhale, powerful. Last one, and release. Step forward, mountain pose, take a moment. Just let your arms relax, close your eyes. You can put your hands over your heart if you want to. 3 full breaths in and out of your nose, being present. Okay, open your eyes. We're going to come back to sitting. So arrange your chair again. Walk around in front of it. Hands over heart center, palms together, and then gently have a seat to your chair. Feet on the floor, arms down by your side. Back to seated mountain pose. Bringing in calmness. All right, we're gonna lift off your heels. We're just gonna do a few windshield wipers here. Just releasing any tension in the legs and hips. And let's take our legs over to one direction and then slowly let's come into another twist here. Except your legs are off center. Turning and looking over the shoulder. So see if you can find a little bit deeper twist this time. And again, we're always thinking about what is this twist doing in my body, right? So we're clearing out toxins. So specifically here, this will be our digestive system, but toxins can also be thoughts, right? Toxic thinking, negative thoughts. Full breath in through the nose, full breath out of the nose. Last breath, come back to center. Sit up tall, windshield wiper again, right to left. And then take your legs over the other direction and moving into a deeper twist this time. Keeping the spine lengthening, turning your head, full breaths in and out of the nose. So the breath is going to be that way to clear the toxins out. So it's a deep breath in and it's a full breath out. We could do a little bit of sound with our breathing too, if you want to do ocean breath. Take one more in breath. Fully exhale that breath out while you're in the twist. And then you'll inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to step our feet out wide. Hands are going to go right to those inner thighs, and then we're going to hinge forward. We're going to do a little bit of twisting again. So we're going to be rotating. You're going to look over your shoulder. You're in a little bit of a hinged over position. You're going to be pushing into your thighs so they don't come together. And then your inhale, come back to center. So stay hinged over, don't come all the way up. So stay here and then twist to the other side. Inhale, center, twist again. Keep going. Use your exhale as you're in. Use the inhale to transition. One more each way. And then you're going to come back to center and tap your feet together. Next thing we're going to do is a hip stretch because we hold a lot of our stuff in our tissues. So we're going to do a little figure 4 stretch. So you're going to reach down, you're going to pick up one of those legs. We're going to move that leg out and in a few times. And then you're going to cross your ankle over the opposite thigh. If you're not able to get your ankle up there, just use something to prop it up on. So you can use a stool, a box, a yoga block, whatever you have, if you can't get your ankle up here. All right, and then we're going to start to just move the body, right? So you're going to hold the hips still. We're going to move the torso around. So you're going to make some circles so you can feel your bones of your pelvis on the chair. So this is, again, we're rooting right through the pelvis. And the bones are heavy, right? So anytime we're talking about bones, heavy on the ground, we've got all of our pelvic bones. Circle the other way. And then we're going to close the eyes and we're going to move into the stretch, right? So pause, sit up tall, and then you're going to start to move forward really slow. So take your time with it, don't rush. Because you might not be in sensation, then all of a sudden you're going to be in it. So just take your time moving in. Once you meet sensation, whatever that is for you, we're going to just stop right there. We're going to hold it and breathe. And if your body allows you to move forward, you can go ahead and come in a little bit deeper, but don't, again, force it. Just allow this process to unfold. Because we're working pretty deep, right? We're working deep into some of these tissues that can definitely hold a lot of our feelings can be locked in there. And it kind of shows up as like pain. It can show up as tension or, anything at all, restriction of movement, right? It's all related to our fascia, and our fascia can definitely have like tension in there and hold that stuff in there. It's innervated. It's got lots of little sensations in there. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just what happens, it's life. We all have it some more than others. Use your breath here. Don't forget the breath is important because the breath is going to help you to let go of some of this stuff. So use your inhales, fully exhale. So don't hold any of that breath in. You want to get it all out because what's coming out with the breath, well, especially on that exhalation, is going to be those toxins. Two more rounds of breath. Okay, take your time to come up. You're going to uncross. We'll do a couple of windshield wipers. You can tap out the legs. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So picking up the leg first, move it out and in. Remember, both sides are not equal. So you're going to have differences, different sensations, different ranges of motion. So if you're able to get your leg up on one side, you may or may not be able to get it up on the other. So just keep that in mind as you begin to cross that over. And then please use props if you need to. And then we're going to start just by moving the torso around. So just again, connecting to the bones. It's where we start to feel grounded, but also you're looking around for sensation too. And then circle the other way a few times. And then as you come back to center, we're going to go ahead and move forward, moving towards that deeper sensation. So to go really slow with it. Go an inch or two and stop and check in. And if you're not feeling anything, just move forward a little bit more. But as soon as you meet that sensation, please just stop there and just take a few breaths. You may be able to go deeper, but give yourself that moment. Just check in with the body. And then wherever you are, just make sure you're maintaining that full inhalation, full exhalation, thinking about like that exhale is going to be that way to get those toxins out of the body. And you can have your eyes opened or eyes closed. If you have your eyes closed, you're able to really go inward and kind of explore because you don't have those visual disturbances that can kind of distract us from really what's going on inside. So to really go deeper, I invite you to have the eyes closed when you're doing some of this restorative work. And always being kind to yourself. Never let yourself go into any sort of pain when we're doing these mind-body practices. Because if you go into pain, it's going to bring up fear and stress in the body. It can also set off the nervous system too. We don't want to do that. All right, let's take our time coming up slow. Gently release a couple of windshield wipers. And then tap those feet out. Mountain pose. Let's take a big breath in, stretch the arms up. Palms together at the heart center. Close your eyes, take a moment. Breathing in. Now we're going to take those arms out to the side, palms up. And we're going to slowly hinge forward, right? So you can stop at any point. You can bring your hands to your thighs. You can come deeper. We're going to go into a seated forward bend here. You can have your hands on your ankles or shins, or maybe towards the floor. And whether you're all the way up here or all the way down to the floor, let's focus on the back of the heart here. So the place between the shoulder blades. If you do have pain there, just being curious, right? So see if you can send your breath there to the back of the heart. Something just might be stuck, right? Because it is the back door. So sometimes people leave it open. So you want to really send out that stuff. It's stuck there, push it out. Full inhales, full exhales. You should feel the breath in that area right behind the shoulder blades. These are your ribs, so your lungs are there too. So let's fill it up. you have a little tiny bit of compression, especially if you're folded down. So your belly is touching your thighs. So it allows you to really feel the breath in the back body, which is what we want to experience right now. Two more breaths, really focus on opening that space there. As you finish up the next exhalation, we're going to come up slow. I want you to keep your chin to your chest and then slowly press into your thighs, coming all the way up. Now we're going to do it the other direction. So now we're going to open the front door of the heart. So you're going to bring your hands behind you. And then we're just going to lean back slightly and think about your sternum being lifted up. So here's what we're doing. We're bringing in love, joy, passion, gratitude, all the good stuff flowing into your heart space. Thinking about those precious moments. So we have tons of these moments in our lives, right, that we can bring into the heart. So connecting to those moments. And then slowly coming all the way up. Slide yourself back into your chair. Stretch your arms up. We're gonna circle and shake out the arms. Circle the wrist, wiggle your fingers. Feel aliveness all the way down to the fingertips. Place your hands on your, let's place them on the belly. Lift your legs up and rotate those ankles around. Wiggle your toes, shake them out. All right, we're gonna sit for a few minutes in just total silence. And I just want your bodies to really receive your practice today. Close your eyes and just breathe naturally in and out of your nose. And just see what's coming up for you right now. See your life in a different way. Receive this energy from Mother Nature, who's telling us it's time to shift, time to change, time to grow, time to learn. Get rid of the old weeds, bring in something new, planting seeds, cultivating those seeds. Okay, let's slowly start to bring awareness back into the body. So you can invite the movement, hands, fingers, feet, toes. Begin to set up nice and tall in your seat. Take a moment here. So we're going to bring that intention back into the heart space. So let's gather it up, hold into the heart. So go ahead and just go back to your intention. Think about what that was. And then after the practice, I want you to think about all of your gifts that you have to offer. What is your passion? What passions do you have in life? And what do you have to offer others in the way of giving? Maybe you have something that someone else needs, right? So uncover, rediscover plant, grow. Let's bring our thumb knuckles up to the third eye point. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you.